Today's episode is brought to you by Mazars.
SoundCartel.
Do you send invoices as PDF attachments in emails? If so, it might be time to adopt e-invoicing for faster payments and more security. From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. A relatively new type of e-invoicing is now being rolled out, and it's the job of the Australian Tax Office to encourage businesses to start using it. Larissa Walker, the ATO's e-invoicing project Business Adoption Director, says not only does e-invoicing facilitate faster payments, but it's also easier because it removes manual data entry, and it's more cyber secure. Today is the start of e-invoicing week, and Larissa starts by explaining to Jeff Waters why the ATO is involved.
Both small businesses and small business advisors often ask us that question because when they start thinking about e-invoicing and ATO, they immediately think that we might be able to see e-invoicing data. Fortunately, that is not the case. Our role is to oversee the international standard and the network that has been adopted by the Australian government, and it is called PEPL. So our job primarily is to accredit the service providers who deliver e-invoicing services in Australia and making sure that they implement the standard consistently so different software products can talk to each other without any problems. With the PEPL framework, the international standard, it has also been adopted in the region here by New Zealand, Singapore and Japan now. There is an agency that is always responsible for administering the framework in the country. It is called the PEPL Authority. And in Australia, it is the ATO. So we are the governance authority. We have no connection to the network and we have no ability to see the e-invoice data. Primarily, our role is governance and driving adoption of e-invoicing.
Oh, so the ATO won't be watching the system as I electronically invoice people?
No, we will not be. The e-invoicing network is separate from the ATO. It is comprised of the service providers that move the information from A to B, and they do not connect to the ATO at any point of that exchange.
Now, you've been talking about an international standard for this. A lot of people might be confused by that because at the moment they consider themselves to be e-invoicing. For instance, they might send PDF invoices off to clients, which are then paid electronically through the bank. Is that not e-invoicing as well? I mean, are these people not doing it already?
No, Jeff. A short answer is definitely no. We often use analogies to explain what e-invoicing is and how it works. And the one that I would like to draw on this occasion will be the payment evolution analogy. In the payment space, we went from checks to online banking to real-time contactless payments. Whereas with business automation, we will be going from paper to PDF and email, and the next step, e-invoicing. So it is the next step in the business automation transformation. E-invoicing is this standardized exchange of data directly between the buyers and suppliers systems via a secure network. And the fact that there is this standard behind it and the secure network makes it all different. And in addition, it is the data that's being exchanged, not information that is created as data by the seller. Then it is converted into a flat file, such as the PDF. Then it is sent to the receiver, and then it needs to be converted again into data through manual entry or scanning. With e-invoicing, your invoice will be digital all the way through its life cycle. That's the main difference.
So in a practical sense, what does that look like for me? If I'm a small business and I want to send an invoice through this system, what, do I open up some computer software and then enter the details and press send? Is it as simple as that?
In a practical sense, it is a new channel in your software. How you generate invoices will not change. There are some improvements that software providers have implemented for e-invoicing, but you will be raising a sales invoice in exactly the same way you do it now, but you will send it as an e-invoice. and you will use an ABN as your destination address instead of the email address. With that, there are a lot of benefits as well, but it is really just a new channel in your software.
Well, while we're there, could you explain those benefits?
One of the key benefits of e-invoicing that we heard loud and clear from many small businesses that we spoke to is saving time and money. For receivers, as I mentioned, e-invoicing will remove manual entry. The invoice will automatically appear in their system, ready to be checked and paid. No more manual data entry once the invoice is received. There are also many efficiencies for the senders. Because we are talking about standardized data, their invoices will have less errors. And that means that the receiver can process it quicker and less time for the sender to chase up invoices and deal with delays, usually with payments that occur due to mistakes and errors and things like that. Another important thing is, as I mentioned, that the ABN is used to deliver the invoice, so the invoice will be delivered to the right recipient. It will not get lost along the way, and because of some of the errors, be put in a pile of too hard to deal with, and we'll get to it later and pay you late. So they're the benefits, really, the lower risk of lost invoices and delayed payments. Cash flow benefits are really another key important benefit, and with e-invoicing you're likely to get paid on time more, and in some cases even faster. For example, for federal government, if you provide goods or services to federal government agencies, you'll get paid in 5 days if you use e-invoicing. This is a very, very good incentive, and we encourage all small businesses dealing with federal government to switch to e-invoicing to get paid faster.
Of course, 5 days is extremely attractive. If I'm a small business listening to this and I'd like to get on board with this system, but I don't have any software that would allow me to do it, what are the first steps I should take? And is this software you're talking about industry standard? Is it easy to get and is it inexpensive?
For software users, Jeff, it is as simple as getting registered in their existing accounting software. The process is very simple. It takes 2 to 3 minutes. And the clincher is that the major accounting package providers offer e-invoicing as a feature now, and it is at no additional cost. So it's offered as part of your subscription and you don't have to pay anything extra. But if you're not using software because not all of your purchases include an invoice, or you send a small number of invoices, but you still want to move into the world of digital, there are also options such as a web portal. And a lot of the service providers who offer e-invoicing services, they offer portal solutions. And they come with plans very similar to mobile phone plans once again, and vary from free to very low cost options. The best place to start is our website. There is an e-invoicing product register available, and in there you can very easily see which of the service providers offer a portal option for those who don't use software.
If I'm having difficulty grasping all of this, can I get any help to implement it?
We've done a lot of work, Jeff, with business advisors over the last year, so they are prepared for this conversation with their clients. So we're suggesting talk to your business advisors, to your bookkeeper, or to your software providers. Ultimately, it is a technology solution, and software providers are ready for you to switch to that new feature, to take up that new feature, and they have prepared a lot of guidance materials and the how-to step. And obviously, ATO is a good resource as well. We have provided a lot of information on our website to give you background and ideas on the how-to steps as well, depending on your starting position, software, no software, and things like that.
All right. I suppose it's going to just streamline my record keeping and make my invoices paid earlier. Is that a fair summation?
Absolutely. They are the key benefits of invoicing, getting paid on time, and streamlining your invoice management process. Just think about you're going from a process that has, for many, still a lot of steps, such as printing, emailing, scanning, manual entry. E-invoicing will cut out all of those steps in the process, so your invoice management will be much more streamlined. And because it is much easier to process the invoice when you receive it, all you have to do is check that the data is correct, and then it's ready for payment when you're ready to pay it. So it is much more likely to get paid on time. They are the key benefits, but I will also like to mention the cybersecurity that comes with e-invoicing. Over the last year, there was a 70% increase reported by ACCC in the business impersonation scams or payment redirection scams, with email reported as the most common channel that the fraudsters are using for invoice and billing fraud. Because with e-invoicing, the e-invoices will be going through the network of approved service providers who adhere and implement very strict security protocols. The risk of that e-invoice being intercepted and invoice detail or banking details altered is much lower. So it is much better to consider switching to e-invoicing to deal with billing and invoice scams.
And once again, you're from the tax office. Will this have any implications for me at tax time?
At one of the events, Jeff, I got asked a question whether the ATO can pre-fill tax returns when people switch to e-invoicing. And I just want to say once again, unfortunately, no. That is because we don't see your invoicing data. The ATO does not connect to the e-invoicing network, and that service will not be available. But what you will gain from switching to e-invoicing is all the benefits in the lead up to tax time. Your records will be digital from the minute they are born all the way through. You will have that data in real time. You will be better placed to manage your business and manage your cash flow. In terms of how different e-invoicing from other digital records, it is a digital record, so the same requirements will apply, and it is your responsibility to make sure that you follow those requirements.
Larissa, is this mandatory? Is this something everybody is going to have to do?
At the moment, e-invoicing is only mandatory for federal government agencies to receive e-invoices, and it is also mandatory in New South Wales for New South Wales state government agencies to receive e-invoices. For businesses, it is not mandatory at the moment. But the benefits of e-invoicing are quite compelling, and we encourage businesses to consider giving invoicing a go, trying it with a couple of their trading partners to see the benefits for themselves, and making the switch. I'm very excited that this podcast is airing during e-invoicing week. It is a week full of events across the economy that help raise awareness of this new technology and its benefits. I encourage your listeners, Jeff, to have a look at the calendar and at least attend a software demonstration of their software provider to see for themselves how quick and easy it is to get registered and get started with e-invoicing.
That was Larissa Walker, e-invoicing Project Business Adoption Director at the Australian Tax Office. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow at BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Mazars. To find out more, visit mazars.com.au. That's mazars.com.au.